Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do a Pan That Palette update. I'm excited because I have 1 month of progress. I've been keeping track of my usages per shade, and I've also weighed my palette. So I've got updates for you. I have not hit pan on anything yet, but I would expect that I would have a pan showing at the next update. So let's go ahead and just give you a quick read in here. So I'm working on the Cipi Cipi Tokyo Beige palette. I bought this when I was in Japan with my husband last May, and I'm really excited to be using it. It's so far been really great. Let me just show you a comparison of the progress and the dips that I have from last month to now, and then I'll talk through each of the shades and how I'm using it and fun stuff like that. So here's what it currently looks like. So I've been using this every day for my eyeshadow. Lately, I've been wearing eyeshadow and like makeup just on work days. I've been kind of going more barefaced on the weekends. We've had super cold temperatures and weather, so my husband and I haven't really been going out anywhere, so I'm fine just keeping it natural on the weekends. But I still have had a good amount of progress in here. So I'm gonna go in order of how I apply these shades, and then we can just talk through there. So the first shade I use every day is this one in the center. This one is starting to get a dip. I would expect to see pan in this one by next month, just at the rate that I'm going through it now. This one is the shade Vanilla Syrup. So I'm using this all over my lids to set down my eyeshadow primer. It does have a little bit of sparkle in it, so I'm tapping my brush to get the sparkles off. A few still transfer, but not as many if I were to go like directly in. So that tapping has been working for me. And it's just a nice kind of base so that my eye primer isn't as tacky and it's easier to blend the other shades. So that's been going well. I use a shade like that every time I do my makeup, no matter the palette. So it's convenient to have one in here. And then I have singles that I'll use when I do finish this shade up. So this one has 18 uses. Again, I use it every single time I do my makeup. So that one has the most uses out of all of the shades in here. After that, I go into this shade here. It's my kind of transition shade. This is the shade Our Beige, and it's just a nice matte kind of a light brown shade, and I just use a fluffy brush, kind of windshield wiper motions to throw it in the crease before I build up the rest of my crease. So this one has 15 uses on it. It's very easy to blend. I haven't had any issues with it. I'm very light-handed with my makeup, so it always takes me a really long time to hit pan in non-shimmery shades. So I wouldn't be surprised if it took a while to see pan, but I have been using it pretty regularly. And then if I want to deepen up my crease, I've been going to this middle shade here. This one is called Toasted Caramel, and it's a nice matte, again, a little bit richer than Our Beige here. So this one I'm using lightly in the crease, usually more focused on the outer third of my crease, but I kind of am, you know, blending it all over the place so it's not like super isolated. And this one's great. It adds a little bit more depth. I think that these three as like a matte look would be really pretty too. I think I wore that once. But yeah, that's been good. So if I haven't said it already, I have 12 uses in the Toasted Caramel shade. And then I do my shimmers. So there are 2 shimmer shades in here. I guess this one's more of a glitter and this one's more of a shimmer. So I've decided to focus on the glitter. This one's called Bubbly, and it does have more like chunks of glitter in it. I still really like it. I work from home primarily, so I do wear it and kind of like build it up on my eyes. And then, you know, between my glasses and then the video call, I don't feel like it's too much. I did have a work trip in January where I did feel like it was a little much for in person. So that's why I shifted to this more like traditional shimmer kind of champagne shade all over the lid. But when I'm at home, again, through the glasses, through the camera, I think this one is great. So Bubbly has 14 uses. Like I said, it is definitely more of a chunkier shade. So I'm having to kind of like tap it on and like really press the sparkly bits into place. And then what I've been doing, because it's pretty bright, is actually layering this shade, which is Orange Blossom, over it. So these two are being paired, this one on the bottom, this one on the top, and that's what I have on my eyes today. And I really, really love how it came out. That's kind of like my go-to work look for the month, which has been great to have, you know, just something I can do really quickly without thinking about it. Orange Blossom has 14 uses on it. So that's been, yeah, my kind of go-to pairing. And then there are a couple of other shades in here we haven't talked about. So let's go to this one. This is called Brown Butter, and I have 10 uses on this one. I've been using this one either very, very lightly to kind of smudge my lash line, my upper lash line, or on a couple of occasions I've used it in the outer third to kind of deepen things up a little bit. But it is pretty pigmented, so this one, I'm sure my goal will be just to hit pan on it. I can't see myself finishing this all the way up this year by any means, but if I keep using it, I have been enjoying kind of that smudgier lash line look. It's not super perfect. It's not like I'm going for a very defined liner. I'm just trying to kind of darken up my lashes, and that's been really nice. I have enjoyed that look, and I think it gives a nice little definition. So anyway, this one I've used 10 times, so it's not something I'm using daily, but you know, quite a few days. And then I have these two shades down here. So let's talk about this shimmery one. This is called Allure. I used this one 17 times. So I did use it, like I said, on my work trip all over the lid, but mostly I'm using it right now in my inner corner because the bubbly shade is just a little too chunky for that. But this one works really well for a little inner corner brightness. Like I mentioned though, I'm gonna focus on using bubbly up all over my lid. And then once this one's gone, I can easily sub this one in, and I can go through it pretty quickly. So I'm okay if this one has a little bit slower progress, and I'm still using it for that inner third or my inner corner. So it's not like it's just sitting there. But yeah, this one has 17 uses. It's been great. And then this one that is kind of like double the pan size could be used as a blush. I have used it as a blush twice just to test it out, and it was nice. And this one's called Dear Tokyo. I used it 9 times. I have used it in the crease a couple of times, or I've used it very lightly on my lower lash line just to add a little definition. So this is one that I could see myself using kind of in a multitude of ways. And it's not my primary focus, or at least I hadn't been in January, but because it is double the size, I do think at some point in the year I probably will need to use it as a blush just to get more product usage out of it if my goal is to try to finish it all the way. So maybe in the fall, you know, when I need a blush, I can reach for it or something like that. So overall, this has been great. I did weigh this palette at the beginning. It was 79 grams, this whole thing. And I weighed it again today and it's 78 grams. So throughout the month, I have tipped the scale from 79 to 78. Mine doesn't do like decimals for the grams or anything like that. So I don't know, you know, if it was 78.01 or 78.99, whatever. It's tipped the scale though. So that's exciting, and I'm really happy with it. So we're going to keep moving forward. I did not have a companion palette in the month of January. I really wanted to spend the month just getting used to this palette and getting to know it. So now that we're going into February, I am going to bring in a small companion palette just so that I have a couple of other shades to play with and I can keep exploring this palette a little bit more. So that companion palette is going to be the ColourPop Quad here. This is called Sorbet. So this has some like pinky purpley shades, which is perfect for Valentine's. So it has 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. This one is a little bit more pinky. This one's a little bit more purpley. And I think that these will play well with the palette that I'm focusing on. So from a shimmer perspective, I certainly can use the larger shade here in my crease and then do like a shimmery pink or purple. That would be pretty. Or I can stick with my bubbly shade and then maybe just have more of a mauve or burgundy, either liner or kind of in the crease. So I think that these aren't going to be directly competing with each other necessarily, but they'll be really nice to complement each other. So I'm going to roll this one in for the month of February, and we'll see how we get on, if I want to keep it in, if I want to take it out, what have you. But I'm really excited to keep on using the shadows and getting to know them even further in the month of February. So that is my short and sweet update for you. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know how your panning projects are going down below in the comment section. If you have videos that I could check out, I'd love to see them. So that is going to wrap up today's video. I will do another check-in in about a month, and I've got a Project Pan update coming here shortly too. So if you're into panning makeup, I've got some more content coming your way shortly. So hopefully you stick around for that. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.